We have a panel of experts here with us in the studio. We have Aarti Jairat, Mr. Rajagopalan, both senior journalists. We have Mr. Shiv Vishwanathan and Dilip Cherian, of course, still with us. Let me first go across to Aarti Jairat. Anything that the Prime Minister said that could enthuse the cadre, anything different from what Sonia Gandhi said in her speech?
Not really, unfortunately. It was a kind of laundry list of what his government has done over the last 10 years. And you know, frankly, I mean, this is a political convention. I think the speeches here need to be political. This is not a government, kind of event or a, press conference where the Prime Minister has to defend his record. And in fact, if you saw Sonia Gandhi's speech too, it was only when she started speaking in Hindi that the political content came into her speech and she got combative and fiery. Otherwise, before that, I think she was also kind of reading out a laundry list of achievements, of what her government has done. So I think basically everybody is just waiting to hear what Rahul Gandhi is going to say when he speaks at 3 o'clock or 3:30, and he's already held out this tantalizing promise that he's going to reveal what's in his heart on the key question today, that why is he going to accept the mantle of being the party's PM candidate.
And that is something to watch out for. I want to get a reaction from Dilip Cherian on that. Can Rahul Gandhi spring a surprise on us? You can never rule that out on, from Rahul Gandhi when he promises that he will be speaking his heart out.
I think to keep the audience engaged, he needs to come out with something new. But you must also understand that his speech, whatever it is punctuated by two big things. The Prime Minister at his last press conference said he's not going to give up being Prime Minister. So that's one thing. And his mother, after the loss of the 4 states, also said that we're going to announce a Prime Minister candidate now. So in these parentheses, he has to figure out what he can say to please the audience, because these are the people who are going to be Rahul's army, or at least parts of them are. So if he wants to reorganize them, if he wants to reorient them, and most of all, if he wants to re-enthuse them, he has to say something new. And I think that with his mother there, with the whole sort of galaxy of the old guard there on the stage with him, this is a time for him to spring his surprise, and that's the least that we can expect from him.
All right, whether or not he does that, we'll have to wait till 3:30 when he makes his speech. Let me go across to Mr. Rajagopalan, who's with us. Mr. Rajagopalan, we earlier heard Mr. P. Chidambaram, who also, came out with a list of achievements of the UPA government. Why do you think some of these feel-good messages have been lost? We just heard the Prime Minister. He also talked about several of the achievements of the UPA government, but all these messages seem to have been completely lost in the run-up to Lok Sabha elections.
This is a poll season. The speaker should be very aggressive, and the speeches should give inspiration to the cadre and also to the voters. All the speakers failed. They thought that it's going to be a budget speech or parliament speech, whatever that is, not a condolence, remarks, because everyone, the Prime Minister's speech did not inspire. It was boring, soaring, snoring. So much of enthusiasm should have been given, which they failed it. Apart from that, I could make out one important. Aarti Jairat was in the previous segment. She was telling us about the Congress getting it. My apprehension is, if that type of speeches are made, which could not inculcate a feeling of an aggressiveness, I feel this is the last AICC of Congress as a ruling party, and the next AICC, future AICCs, Congress would have been decimated as a regional party, and it would have even lost the national stature, because they are not going to cross 3 digits, which is going to be a very horrible situation. Apart from that, if 3:30 speech of Rahul Gandhi is going to inspire something, whichever AICC I have been noticing, even Aarti has been reporting on that, speeches are divided into 3 parts. I take aggressive position, you take a smaller position, like that, PM, Sonia, Rahul Gandhi. Always this has been the pattern. We wait for 3:30. Even if the 3:30 is going to be repeat of 12:30 of Manmohan Singh's speech, then we feel sorry for Congress.